Okay, so coming to what makes a perfect lunch or a perfect lunch, comprehensive or a wholesome lunch meal would be a good combination of good quality carbohydrates, good amount of proteins, good quality fats, and a little bit of raw or live food, which is something as simple as your seasonal salad. To give you an example, depending on which part of the country you're coming from, you can choose what is the form of carbohydrate that you would like to have. For example, for people in the northern part of India, let's say if you're somebody who stays in Delhi, pick and choose your grains that are coming from the neighboring states like Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana. So we're talking more about rice, we're talking about wheat, we're talking about maize, which we call as makai colloquially. So these are the grains you should pick. However, quantity is what is important. Where I see people going wrong is that we go overboard with the amount of carbs that we have. Now, earlier people could afford to, in olden times, people could afford to have that many rotis or carbs because their activity level in general was extremely high. So they would burn off the calories. That's not so much the case with us when we are sitting in front of our desktop all day long and working, right? So it's important that we bring the quantity of our carbs down. On an average, I would say it should not go beyond, if you're somebody who's just moderately active, no way you should go beyond two rotis. For somebody who's looking at weight loss, let's say about one roti. When we're talking about rice, limited to about 6 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon being about 15 grams. And with that, make sure you're having your good quality protein. For vegetarians, it can be legumes, lentils, your beans, rajma, chole, etc. Something that you've been having ever since your mom started feeding you healthy food at home. You have to stick to something as simple as that. So increase the quantity of these legumes or lentils instead of increasing the quantity of carbs. That's one rule of making sure that you do not put on that extra fat. Number three, if you, as a matter of rule, include some fiber or salad in your diet, that will make sure that you feel the sense of satiety or satisfaction comes in a lot earlier than it would if you were to completely skip that extra fiber from the diet, because fiber can make you feel full very quickly. Having said that, please know that just having salads for your lunches and dinners is not the healthiest thing to do, because apart from fiber and micronutrients, you're getting no sources of energy, you're getting no proteins, and not getting any fats either. So it has to be a wholesome meal where the proportion of which macronutrient has to come in what quantity will depend on what your goal is, if you have any other lifestyle disorder, if there is any metabolic disorder. So this can be decided in consultation with your nutritionist or dietitian. Coming to next sources of proteins for non-vegetarians. Vegetarians I've already covered. Primarily we're looking at lentils, legumes, beans. Soya bean, again, just coming back to vegetarians again, is a great source of protein. The only issue is that, at least in the West, it is something which is highly genetically modified. And GMO products, I'm sure most of us are aware now, have been highly linked again to risks of developing different kinds of cancers, and women, especially breast cancer. So you may want to be a little careful about your choice of, as in where you pick your soya bean from. So if you can get it from some credible source whereby it's mentioned that it's GMO free, go for it. Soya bean is a brilliant source of of proteins for vegetarians. Peas, again, something that people don't know. Peas are a great source of proteins for vegetarians. So in winters, you get them fresh, not from cold storage. Even in summers, you can choose to go for the frozen ones, provided there are no preservatives added to the packet. Talking about the non-vegetarian sources of proteins, like we're all aware, your eggs, chicken, fatty fish. I particularly say fatty fish because that will offer you extra omega-3 as well, as opposed to fish that are not fatty. But all fish are great sources of protein. Try again buying them fresh and cooking them instead of buying the tinned variety, for the simple reason that, again, a lot of micronutrients would have died in tinned food, and it'll come with a lot of preservatives which you do not want to have in the long run. So be it vegetarians or non-vegetarians, in general, if you want to understand what is it like to eat healthy or have a wholesome meal on your plate, it has to be the good combination of your proteins. Do not skip your carbohydrates unnecessarily, because they are the primary source of energy. And when I say good fats, you can have something like a teaspoon of melted organic A2 cow ghee on top, or organic butter made from good quality A2 cow milk. These will be your sources of good fat in the main meal, apart from the nuts and seeds that you can have through the day.
Okay, the question about